Hi guys, and welcome to Get Reviews, and to this a bit of a different video about dating. So guys, maybe you're wondering why I'm doing this. Well, I'm not going to make a channel especially for this. The reason that I'm doing this is because I have enough knowledge on that topic, and maybe it's going to be useful for some of you if I can share it. So sometimes I just feel like I have a lot to say on some topics in general. So when I want to say something about something, I will just go out and maybe make a video about it and say it. So of course that it's maybe a good idea to make a channel about this particular thing and not be here, but it's very difficult to manage 3 channels. I can barely manage 2, and I divided them for a reason. But now the case is different. Those videos that I want to make about the other things, like the UFC, WWE and all that, whatever it is and whatever that I have an inspiration to do, I better just go and do it while I have this inspiration. So of course you can watch if you like, or you cannot watch, but if I have something to give, I better just go and give it. If that is going to be, if some use or help to some people, even to one person sometimes, it's worth it. So guys, this topic now is going to be about why some relationships are not working exactly, and what is compromise and how much you have to compromise in a relationship. So first, I have to say just a little bit about me to have some kind of an idea, of course, and that you know that I know what I'm talking about. So basically, I have enough experience on relationships and dating and how things should be. I have enough experience on my own. I've seen what is happening and what has happened to my friends. So from my teenage years till now, I have a pretty good idea of everything. And I am currently in a very amazing, successful relationship that is going on for quite a while. Once again, I don't want to get in super personal details about me because I like my personal life to be left personal. But I am going to say some things at least that could be useful to you, of course, coming out of my experience and from, of course, what has happened to my other friends. And I have to say that even though when I was very, young in my early teens, I was always right about what is going to happen to my girlfriends when they are doing stuff that they are not supposed to be doing. When things are going to go very wrong for them if they go and do this or go and do that, and they never realize that, but I was always right. So I was basically right every freaking time for whatever it is. On this topic, I just have some kind of a sense of things. I don't know. I can judge a person very good by their actions, their how even their manner of speaking and everything. So, and red flags are very easy to spot. So that is my just a tiny bit of taste of my background in this. And now let's go on to the topic because I really don't want this video to be, very long. Compromise and dating. Many relationships are not really very successful, and sometimes that is because there are too many compromises. And how people say you have to make compromises in a relationship. You have to both. Not only one person. The most important thing that you have to watch in a relationship, that you have to have, is compatibility. You have to be compatible with your significant other. If you can reach, of course, 100% as much as possible, you have to have everything in common. Of course, maybe there are some things that you don't have to have in common, but they have to be such a small things that are not going to affect your relationship. And many times, everything is going to affect your relationship sometimes. Little things that can irritate you day by day, even though they are little, it's like a drop of water just falling down every day till it's like a whole river, you know. So you have to watch out for everything. Opposites attract is not true. I mean, it's true for just a little bit, but then everything is going to be oof, you know, there's just no use. If you want to have a full and very good relationship, you can't just be with someone that doesn't like what you like and doesn't think like you do, and you'll be like in constant conflict about some things, and just some things can't be overcome. They're so either so irritating or very essential to your being. So compromise, you can make a compromise if it's about something like super insignificant, but if you have to change for somebody, I mean, if that somebody does not love you and accept you the way you are, and if you don't love them and accept them the way they are, and they have to super change and not be themselves anymore, I mean, they or you have to change to the point that you're not yourself anymore, that is very bad. Of course, everybody, and maybe if you watch one of my previous movie reviews, even when I talk about some of the problems of some movies, it's very important for a person to grow and develop, to try to better themselves. For me, you can't just be like with absolutely no development of anything. You have to, you know, get smarter in time. You have to try to be healthy, take care of your body, take care of your everyday health, everything. I mean, your mind, everything. You have to take care of yourself. So, of course, that if it's something about health and you're not healthy and your significant other says you have to get healthier, that's normal, of course. We're not talking about this. If it's not good for you, then of course that your other half is going to be right, and you have to try to take care of yourself. If you are doing something that is harmful to you, and it eventually and actually very quickly becomes harmful to everyone around you, because they have to watch you suffer and go through this. And if you're stubborn or something and just don't want to get better or something, I mean, life is so vastly different for everybody, but there are just some things that are like constant. And the constant here is that if you have to make an amazingly big sacrifice and not be yourself with a person, with somebody, and just when you feel uncomfortable, when you are made to feel uncomfortable with somebody, that means that this person is not for you. I will have to give you an example to understand me better. Like me and, you know, my significant other, we have the same likes and dislikes. We don't approve of the same things, and we approve on the same things. We like the same movies, pretty much the same music. I mean, he likes a little bit more of not exactly techno music, but something like more dance, and some of those songs I love as well, but just not everything. That's the only difference, like the only difference. Everything else, we listen to the same music, the same styles, everything, the same movies. We love the same stuff. And when I'm with him, I feel like totally myself. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells about something. He loves me the way that I am perfectly. I'm not nervous about anything. We can do everything around each other. No one cares. It's just a perfect, loving, environment. No one judges anybody for anything. It's just awesome. It's just ideal, really. And with my previous relationship, it was very, very different. That's another topic. But my point is that because I've seen many of my friends, they are not themselves with their boyfriends, and some of them are even married already, and they're just not themselves. They can't do anything unless that guy says something, and you have to bring me dinner, and they act like they're animals and we are living in the last century or something. And they work as well, so they can't like be and do everything by themselves. This incorporates many different aspects of a relationship, but the main point is to just be yourself. If you feel like yourself with the person, if you feel like you're swimming in your own waters, if you feel like you are at home with that person, if that person gives you the same amount of love that you are giving them, if they're as much as loving as you are, so yeah, that's the person for you. Absolutely. I mean, you also have to have the same understandings and the same beliefs. You can't be with someone that, for instance, doesn't want to have children and you want to have children. You can't also be with someone that does want to have children but you don't have. I mean, everything has to be on the same page. And many people and girls in general and men just go and have those long relationships that last for like 5 or 6 years, and they just continue with this relationship, although they haven't even talked about how they're going to continue this relationship. Are they going to get married? Are they going to have children? Most of the times it turns out that the man doesn't want to have children, and this woman like wasted her time with him, and they don't have communication. Like, they literally don't talk about the serious stuff, and years like go by and they're just like wasting their time. They're just literally like wasting their time. There's ton of those examples. Also, the other most important thing is that everything has to be equal. If you're a man, you can't expect the woman to cook for you unless, she wants to do this, but everything has to be equal. Like with us, we are cleaning together, we are cooking together, we are doing everything together. There's not anything that I'm doing more or less when it comes to chores, homework. Just everything is absolutely equal. So we clean, we both, use the washing machine. And he washes the dishes mostly because I'm cleaning the kitchen around that area. For instance, just some of the instances. Every one of us does the same things. He's working, I'm working, and when we get home, he's going to clean if he must. If I have to do this, if I have to cook, he has to clean, then wash the dishes. I will clean something else, and so on. It's not like in the last century when both women and men, here, I'm talking about here, I can't speak for every country, of course. The woman worked all day, the man worked all day, went home, the woman still continues working, cooking 1, 2, 3 meals, and take care of everything. She rests like at 10 o'clock at night and just go and sleeps, and the man just sits down and reads a paper and doesn't do anything. No, this is 21st century and that is not right. The woman basically works 2 jobs and she can't get a break. So who the hell is going to want to get married and have kids when the situation for every woman is going to be like that? So if you are a girl or woman, for me, you can't accept that. That is just ridiculous. You have to be with a man, with a guy that is going to respect you and treat you like an equal. because otherwise it's just not worth to have this kind of relationship, this Neanderthal, this amazingly terrible and ancient way of thinking. So be yourself, everything has to be equal, and you have to be with someone. And the same goes for women. I mean, you can't be with a woman that terrorizes you, that treats you like you are her plaything, like you are something for her enjoyment only. And because there are all kinds of cases. Women can abuse men too, although that is a lot more rare than the opposite. It's possible. So both men and women have to keep things equal, have to think the same. If this person, a man or a woman, doesn't think the same way as you already, they never will. And it's very hard to make somebody to do something that they don't want to. I mean, at the beginning, of course, some men, it's going to be very hard for them to do all those chores along with you. When the first time you're beginning to live with somebody, of course, that nor you or this other person are used to do all this and to live together, but you will learn together, And if this man or woman has this potential to learn how to do this with you and to live in peace and harmony and to clean and all that without any problems at all, is awesome. But if you are with somebody that shows a completely different side of them when you start living with them, and they're like, I'm not doing this, I'm a man, or the woman tries to abuse the man for some reason, whatever the case may be, you're just not for each other, you are in a abusive relationship mentally, who knows if can be, and physical in time. So you have to be compatible. 100% if possible compatible. You don't make compromise for this. And I'll give you another example that is kind of different, but like I said, there's a ton other cases in the world. But like I knew a guy, and with him we had a amazing like passion, just amazing. Just like physical attraction, like magnets or something, but we don't agree on a lot of things, and we always like get almost in argument every time about something, and the belief system is different also, and yeah, we have this amazing physical attraction, but that is not going to make a relationship. I can never be with somebody that wants to force their opinion and to make it like the only thing that matters is their opinion. And he knows that I'm intelligent enough to know all those things about, and I have knowledge about movies and all that, but he doesn't care. I mean, his opinion is always on top of things. It's like forcing it. He's always right. Whatever it is, he's right. And he can be right. That's absurd. I mean, on many topics. And I always like share my opinion, but I don't say this is the full truth. Like for movies, this is subjective. If I love Star Wars and you don't like Star Wars, that's okay. But you can't say like the movie is crap and that's the solid truth, and everybody that likes the movie are stupid. Because that's ridiculous. That's just simply not true and can't be true. You can't think that from all the people in the world, you are the most right, So even though we have like such a physical attraction, like super magnets, like when we see each other, like we want to jump on top of each other, like something like this, I mean, we had this. It's no use. It's not good for a relationship. He's not good for me, and I'm not good for him, and that's super okay. I mean, if anything, he needs somebody that's with a lot of patience, because he's a very negative person. Everything is like negative with him because he also had very bad relationships in the past. But most of that thing is his fault, because the other problem, I mean, one of the problems, I can't like cover every possible thing in the world right now in this video, but one of the other things that people make as a mistake is that they fall for someone only because of the looks. And in his case, he fell for many girls that are pretty, but they are not interested in him the same way that he's interested in them. They are not as serious, or he's just too jealous, because that's also one of those things that one of his girlfriends broke up with him because he went on a super outraged and rage because she got a text message from somebody that just happened to be a male, a boy, and he just went crazy, and she left him right away because he was acting like a crazy person. It's like she already slept with him or something, and it was just a friend, from childhood thing. It wasn't nothing, and he regrets that, but she doesn't want to see him again. So yeah, that's one of the things that men mostly do. They fall for somebody for their looks, for some girls, and the girls are just like, I don't care. That's not worth it. You have to fall in love with somebody if you have substantial reason for that. Many times people just fall in love so fast without any reasoning behind anything. For instance, my girlfriends, they fell in love with boys just because they were paying attention to them when we were like in school. And those guys were apparently very bad in every possible way, but they didn't care. They were just happy that someone is paying attention to them. And like 2 days later, they are crying on my shoulder and says that they want to kill themselves. My girlfriends. And that's just ridiculous. Why would you even like this person? Do you have a brain or something? I was always like this. I can never fall in love with somebody unless he has a substantial intelligence, a look that I like. I have to make compromise about the looks to a point. That is mostly unavoidable sometimes. But still, you don't make a compromise to a point that you're going to ruin yourself and you're going to destroy yourself in the process. You have to always be yourself. So guys, I can say a lot of things about this topic, but I can't make this video for a whole hour. So maybe if I have something else to say in the future, I will. And maybe I'm going to tell you more things about, my past relationships and what not to do. But those things that I just said, the basics, and one of the most important things that you have to look for to have a successful relationship. Don't make compromises and always be yourself. If you're not feeling comfortable with that person is not for you. And you have to keep looking. Second best is never enough. So that is, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, rate, comment, and subscribe if you like my content, of course. Until next time with Gary G Reviews. Best games for the best prizes on g2a.com and citykeys.com. If you like to subscribe, you can click the button to the right, and you can also check out my gaming channel, Gary G Gaming.